what's up everybody? I am B Militant, the host here on the Redskins Review. If you are new to this channel, what it is a channel for all the Redskins fans and NFL fans in general to come here and converse, talk about what we agree or we can disagree on things. Doesn't really matter. Hopefully we agree on some stuff, you know, to keep this content fresh and stuff like that. But we just got done watching the Redskins-Jets preseason game, and thank God there wasn't a flag every other play like the Falcons game. It was actually enjoyable to watch. We did have too many penalties, but before I dive into the game, I gotta first say shout out to my man RG3 over there in Cleveland, looking good, man. He was on point the other day. It puts a smile on my face to see that kid out there, you know, bouncing back after having a year off to you know, sit down and get healthy and then go out there. Had some awesome passes, 50-yard bombs, back-to-back games, touchdown passes, man. Good to see him out there having fun again, man. As long as it's not versus us, you know, this year or whatever, I want to see RG3 succeed. It would do nothing but put a smile on my face to see all the Ravens fans, because like I said, I'm here in Baltimore. All the Ravens fans that gotta give me shit for being Redskins fans and hating on RG3 all the time. It would put a smile on my face to see RG3 bust the Ravens' ass twice a year. So I hope he keeps doing good. I know it's only preseason, but he looks like he's having fun out there. So, you know, shout out to him, man. That brings me into another segment here where I am avidly on the Washington Redskins Facebook page. And today, more bullshit, dude. More racist bullshit. When when we released that Kirk Cousins was not going to play today, just because it's still preseason, we already know Kirk looked all right last game. There's a lot of our other starters sitting out this game. It's also his birthday. His birthday probably had nothing to do with him sitting out. It was just a decision to sit a lot of our starters because we do not want to get injuries. We know Kirk looks sharp. He's going to play next game, I'm sure. But as soon as that happened, it was just a bunch of people up there on the Redskins Facebook page sitting here. Oh, well, Jay Gruden's racist. Fucking, I remember last year where we had to go up against a hard team with a good defensive line, and we didn't sit RG3. We made him play, and he got hurt. Yada, yada, yada. All these people are saying all this racist shit, trying to sit here and say, like, Jay Gruden's racist, and he's sitting Kirk Cousins because he likes him, and he didn't like RG3 because he's black and shit, dude. It's crazy to me that people have these thoughts. Let me squash this one more time. Last year in the preseason, it wasn't hard to see that none of our quarterbacks were playing well for the past few years. RG3 did not play well for a couple years. Not a small stretch. Years. There was a while where RG3 was not our guy. He couldn't stay healthy. He was not our guy. Hopefully he can over in Cleveland, and if he does well over there in Cleveland, so what, man? I won't feel bad about letting him go. It's not crazy. Everyone sits here and knows head coaches and quarterbacks and certain personnel, they get a certain window for them to show us something, or they have to go. They have to go if they do not produce. RG3 did not produce. Last year in preseason, we're sitting here like, we don't know who our quarterback's going to be. No one's played very well at all. Between Colt, between Kirk, between RG3, none of them played well at all. So then in the preseason, here it is, the preseason versus the Lions. RG3 is supposed to be the front runner to be the starter, right? So he's got to fucking show us something. We need to put him out there on that field, and he needs to show us something to be the starter. This year, obviously, Kirk is our guy. He earned that job. He did that. It's no clue, or it's not hard for anyone to realize this is Kirk's team. This is his. We didn't have that last year. Stop with your racist agendas that nobody wants to see a black quarterback in the NFL or whatever. I'm a huge RG3 fan. I hope he still does good. But people need to stop with that shit, man. I swear there's more RG3 fans out there than there are Redskins fans, dude. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. All right, well, now we got to get into the actual football game. Sorry if you guys don't want to hear that, but, man, if you go on that Redskins Facebook page, dude, there's a lot of them RG3 lovers out there, man. There is. I don't know where they came from or whatever, but you guys, you know, I'm still trying to improve this channel. Last game against the Falcons, right when the game got over, I just kind of jumped on here and rambled off. I tried to figure out I tried to remember what happened, and it was really hard, and I'm sorry that was kind of a blur, and my video wasn't the best. You guys keep telling me things that you want. One of the things is like bullet points. So during this game, I sat here on my phone, and I wrote down bullet points for, talking points for me to do. So what I'm going to try to do this video is I'm going to go through some of these, and I'm probably going to try to cut certain scenes in and out. I'm going to read off the bullet point. I'm just going to start talking about it a little bit and then switch to the next one and so on and so forth. So let's get right into it. Also, after I'm done the little bullet points thing, I am going to have a little bit of a ramble at the end just to throw everything together and call it a day. So first thing comes to mind here is the first thing that I wrote down was the Ryan Grant catch where he wasn't down and he still kept going and he got a first down. That is a heads-up play. I like Ryan Grant. The Redskins, when healthy, we have probably the best, the deepest wide receiving core in the NFL, and this is strictly because of our general manager Scott McCloughan. This guy just is finding talent. It seems like all of our draft picks seem to pan out. It really pains me that Kyshawn Jarrett, he looks like he's probably not going to play this year because, man, would he look good? Would he be such a good help to our team like he was last year with the picks also that we got this year to go along with, to have that other piece of the puzzle? Man, that would be awesome to still have him. But our wide receivers looked pretty good today. On to the next point. Matt Jones, he looked okay at times, but he needs to realize, he needs to go back and watch my Dear Matt Jones video that I made. We are paying this motherfucker to run motherfuckers over. He is 6'2". How many other running backs are in the NFL at 6'2"? Matt Forte, only a few of them. And you're not a 6'2" running back in the NFL, and you're not there to be a finesse back. You are there to run motherfuckers over. Run them over. Stop going sideline to sideline. Stop trying to finesse people and get to the outside and outrun people. When you are handed the ball, you get what short yardage or whatever yards you can get. Stop going to the outside. And that's also where he got hurt, was on the outside. It wasn't a bad play where he got hurt. Also, he just has a shoulder sprain. It looks worse than it did. We're going to have to monitor this. We'll see what's going on. But his backup, Ryan Kelly, he looks pretty good. I'll get into some of the other running backs further down in the video. So on the first drive, we are just moving. Even though we don't have Kirk playing, we have Colt in there. We're just moving against a defense that's no joke. The Jets are no joke, you guys. This was a really good game for us. I thought we played them really well last year. Unfortunately, we didn't win versus them last year. But the Jets had a lot of their first string out there going against Colt McCoy, our backup, and we were moving the ball. If it wasn't for penalties, you guys, I think the Redskins would have scored over 21 points in the first half, which is a good sign with a backup quarterback in there. Of course, this is still preseason, but just moving the ball versus this caliber of a team. But at the end of the first drive, Colt McCoy did throw the interception to Darrelle Revis. Somehow Darrelle Revis, he's so good for a reason. Colt's running outside, and he's looking to throw the ball to someone or give someone a jump ball. And I think it's either Rashad Ross or Ryan Grant. They kind of give up on the play. And Darrelle Revis just doesn't give up, man. He's a smart dude. He deserves his interception in the end zone. Colt should have just thrown it away. Which brings me into my next point, is there's too many heroes. There's too many people I saw trying to do too much, and it cost them. People trying to, like the Jamison Crowder punt where he fumbled the ball. We got it back, but Jamison Crowder's sitting there. He has nowhere to go with no room, and he wants to make a play. He's saying, hey, even it's preseason, they want to see me catch the ball and run with it. But guess what, man? I think the team would rather see you call a fair catch and hold on to the ball rather than do that. Matt Jones running to the outside too much. People just trying to do too much. Colt McCoy trying to do too much. We're in the red zone. We could take points, but he throws the ball. It looked like he almost tried to throw it away, and he just threw it right to Darrelle Revis. I saw too many people there was, I forget which wide receiver, he had the ball, and he literally had about at least 6 yards. He caught the ball and had almost like 6 yards. He ran, but then he ran back, and it was ended up getting tackled because he's trying to go to the outside and run past people, and he got back to the line of scrimmage for no gain. He had a 6-yard catch, and then he could have turned, and he had like at least 1 or 2 more yards where he could have just jumped on the ground and taken that. And too many heroes is what I saw. People need to take the yards that we get them. Just like I said, Matt Jones, get the ball, get downhill. You're a downhill runner. That's what we got you for. Don't do the outside shit. Don't try to outrun people. Next point. So during the game, I have to give credit to all of our defensive lines, our entire defense in general. And no matter what it was, the first and second half, starters or not starters, we were getting to Fitzpatrick. We were getting to their backups until like the end of the third and the fourth quarter. They were having some success throwing the ball, but they just kept throwing the ball. They threw the ball, like when the announcer said it was like in the second half, they ran 4 times and threw the ball 20. Like, it was ridiculous. They just kept throwing the ball. But overall, our defense did well. But I was really impressed with, even though we didn't have a sack in the game, I don't think we sacked anybody. Our defensive line was just disruptive. Every time I saw, Ryan Fitzpatrick or someone out there trying to throw the ball, we're just closing in on them. They're losing the pocket. They're sitting there. There was a lot of dropped passes by the Jets, and it's probably because of our pressure. So you got to give credit to our defensive line. Our guys did a good job. So now we're going to transition over to the offensive side of the ball. We did run the ball more effectively than we did in the Falcons game. A huge reason why is because Sean Laval was in the game. When Sean Laval is in the game, we are a better running team, period. He looked last year. The first 3-4 games that he was in the rotation, we were one of the top running teams in the NFL. And then it all went downhill from when he got injured. If he can stay healthy, Sean Laval needs to be starting at left guard, period. Better running game means better passing game, means more points on the board. Sean Laval needs to start. So even though Colt McCoy had a good game, and we are blessed to have one of the best backup quarterbacks in the NFL, and he also mimics somewhat Kirk Cousins. So if Kirk Cousins goes down, Colt McCoy can come in, and he knows what to do. He runs the same type of system. But Colt McCoy, if I have to give him a criticism, one that I've already brought up before, is that at times his arm is too small. There's been certain times where he just couldn't get the ball downfield on long passes, but in this game, there was a lot of underthrown balls that seemed like we had our guy, wide receiver open, and he was just throwing the ball. He just looked like he wasn't putting enough effort into throwing it, and the balls were hitting the ground. Just a small criticism. In general, Colt McCoy had a good game, and he's definitely one of the better backup quarterbacks in the league, and we're glad that we have him. Next point. Time of possession. In the first quarter, the Redskins held the ball for over 13 minutes out of 15 minutes in the first quarter. Like I said, it was the penalties that were holding us back. Besides that, we were moving the ball. We had the ball. They weren't doing anything. I think it was like it took them until about the third quarter to get their first down. It was ridiculous. I'm really proud of how our defense played. Really proud of our defensive line. And Colt McCoy was moving. Our offense was moving. Our running game was a little bit better. So yet again, the Jets are no joke. They are a pretty good team, and I'm really happy with how we fared against them. Next point. So in my last video, there's 2 takeaways that I said I wanted to see from last game to this game, personnel changes, and one of them was David Bruton Jr. I wanted Duke Inhanacho to take his spot, and I wanted to see Mac Brown start over Keith Marshall. Both of those things didn't happen. Hopefully in the third game, these are 2 things that I still want to happen. David Bruton Jr., yet again, looked not good. He had an opportunity to get a tackle, and he missed it, and I think the guy got a first down or something like that. Just was not looking good. Missing tackles out of place. I want Duke Iheanacho to start. The Keith Marshall, you guys, I understand. A lot of you guys out there like Keith Marshall. He had 1 or 2 really good runs this game, but Mac Brown never goes backwards. When Mac Brown gets the ball, he gets what yards he can and still fights after contact, even though he's a smaller guy. He looks better. I know that he's probably going against third-string guys, but he needs more reps. I know that you guys and our coaches are both emotionally involved with Keith Marshall because they drafted him, but Mac Brown is just outperforming him. Whenever he has this, Keith Marshall had a lot more reps than him in this game. But if you go back versus the Falcons, if you go back to preseason last year, Mac Brown is just, he never goes backwards. Like I'm talking about people going side to side. Mac Brown, always full head of steam. He's getting what yards as quick as possible. He's getting those yards and going downfield. You never see him going backwards. Next point. All right, so we still have D. Hall at safety. He looked good. He had a fumble recovery. Will Blackman. A bunch of you guys don't like Will Blackman, and I don't fucking know why. This is a dude who came off the street last year and played well for us. He can only get better with us having off season. He was with us through the whole camp. He had an interception today. Just on my last video, I think there was someone saying people that they want cut and they want Will Blackman cut. You guys are crazy. The guy, I don't know, hopefully he plays well at safety. He keeps doing this, but he got us another turnover. He got us turnovers last year. He can only get better. So if we had to choose for a third corner right now, it's either between Kendall Fuller and Greg Toller, and I'm leaning towards Greg Toller. I saw Kendall Fuller. Greg Toller, he just always is around the ball making a play. Kendall Fuller looks promising, but the thing is, he kind of reminds me of D. Hall a little bit, where like he plays with such confidence that I saw him sometimes, he just looks slow coming off the ball, slow to react and stuff like that. But Kendall Fuller did have a really good game. He had a bunch of tackles, passes defensed. Every time he did something, he's out there shaking his hand, like some D. Hall type of thing. These guys really seem similar. But yeah, we need more video on both these guys. But right now, I'd have to lean towards Greg Toller getting the start at our third corner slot. All right, guys, if you watch Louis T over there on his channel, if you don't, you guys should go YouTube him and check him out because he's a pretty good guy. He's also a Redskins fan. We have a lot of agreeances on what we've been seeing so far in the preseason. And on one of his last videos, he has this banana in the tailpipe little segment where he's saying there's things that he's been seeing on the Redskins and he doesn't want to really dive in and believe it so far. And so far, his point was the defense. Our defense looked good versus the Falcons last game, and they look good again today. So, I'm sorry, man, but it's getting harder and harder for me to not believe the hype. Our defense is looking pretty good. Got to see more tape. Will Compton didn't play. Still have guys that didn't play. But all through the entire game, like I said, in the second half, they did start to gash us with passes some. But when the announcer said it in like the third or fourth quarter, they're like, in the second half, the Jets, they ran the ball 4 times and passed 20 times. How realistic is that in a game in the NFL? It's not going to happen unless they're down by a lot. So yet again, kudos to our entire defense. I'm starting to believe the hype, man. We got to see the third preseason game is the most important because that's when you actually game plan for teams. So we'll see more next week. So another big asset to our team is Tressway. If you watch the game, all you see is people sitting there watching the game and sitting there commentating on how good Tressway is. They even jinxed him. Every time they said Tressway's going to kick it over 50 yards, he did the worst kicks. But yet again, special teams, we didn't have any kick returns or anything like that this game. So good on special teams. Tressway is a monster. He's unreal. Probably the best punter in the NFL. Thank God we got him. Hopkins, he's a good kicker. I liked Forbath last year, and it couldn't, I had to trust Scott McClellan, and so far Hopkins has been good in his replacement. One of the names that I've heard through the entire game was DeSager. Damn it, I don't know how to fucking say his. All right, guys, so if you were watching the game live, one of the guys' names you heard all the time was DeShazer Everett. Special teams, I think he had a fumble recovery or something like that. He's just around the ball. He looks like a guy who's trying to make the goddamn team, so keep looking out for him. Hopefully he makes a team. He showed a lot of effort. Next point. Nate Sudfeld. He had an opportunity in the Falcons game and in this game to come back and win us the game. He did it this game, even though he looked a lot more shaky than he did in the Falcons game. In the Falcons game, for a rookie, he came in there and was poised and just looked comfortable. But I would say the Falcons do have a better team in general. And Nate Sudfeld, he was inaccurate at times today, but he finally came through, got us the win. Thompson had the one-hand catch in the end zone for the go-ahead winning touchdown. And that was it, man. That's the game. Let me know what you guys think. Our defense looks improved. We do have people who didn't play. But the thing is, man, the Jets are no joke, man. They're a playoff caliber team. I'm really happy with how our team fared. Penalties need to go. We need a true running back. We need someone to emerge in the running back fight for who's going to be our guy. That's still probably one of the biggest question marks on our team. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.